before we move forward, I do want to clarify to anybody listening. No one here thinks that Hillary Clinton is going to save us, okay? No one thinks that, okay? So maybe some people in the country think that. I certainly don't think that. Voting for her doesn't mean, that's it, I found it, she's the Messiah, and she's going to save us. If you think that's how politicians are, you got a rude awakening coming, okay? There's been, I don't know if there's been 2 elections in my lifetime where I had a good choice. So let's just be clear that we're not voting for the Messiah, and that we don't think a vote means, that's it, that person's going to be awesome, and they're going to fix the system. I just want to be clear about that. Okay.
That's disappointing news.
Yeah, okay. But people do think that. And I'm not just talking about, Dr. Stein mentioned that but so many people think, if you vote for someone, that's it, you think that they're going to solve everything. Are you nuts? You really think a president's going to solve everything? A politician's going to solve everything? Like, stop thinking that that's the goddamn answer. It isn't the answer. So, what Dr. Stein rightfully asked, what is the exit strategy? Jimmy and I might disagree here a little bit. I don't think the exit strategy is a third party. I give them, the reason I had Dr. Stein on the show is because I want to have all of you guys hear her out. And if you think that's the right strategy, go for it. I want to talk to her more, even in the next month. I want to talk to Gary Johnson more. I want to give you guys all the opportunity in the world to make an informed decision. But it's not like, okay, who's going to save us? Which politician? Which politician? Is it going to be a third party or fourth party? Is it going to be Hillary Clinton? It's not going to be a politician. Get it through your heads.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not, of course not. But the flip side is the president sets the agenda and can make a gigantic, huge difference in the direction the country goes. It might be a direction you don't like, but they're not nothing. It matters.
And Cenk, if George H.W. Bush had beaten Bill Clinton or Bob Dole had beaten Bill Clinton, the judges that gay Americans said, who is going to save us and allow us to marry? Those judges wouldn't have been appointed to the courts, and it wouldn't have happened as quickly. So there are instances where, yes, a president's decisions, as Ben said, and a president's appointments do save people in the lives that they live. But
okay, then let me be clear,
and then we'll move on. About it is very different.
No, let me be clear, and then we'll move on. Okay, so that's the 2 camps. One side that says that a president makes no difference at all. I don't agree with that side. So I agree with Michael and what Michael and Ben just said, okay? No, it makes a difference. And the main thing that I think that it makes a difference on is it could screw us harder, right? It could be a really, really bad shape. I saw it with George W. Bush.
Right.
Oh, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, no, it turns out for approximately 1 million dead Iraqis, it made a giant, giant difference, let alone everything else, okay? So now, on the other hand, that doesn't mean the person you vote for will save the planet, is going to have all the problems, is the answer. So to me, changing the system is the answer, and that's not going to be a politician.
I hear you. You know why I object to it is because, of course, I don't disagree with anything you said on the merits. I just think that that's the sort of attitude, if I may, that has bred so much, part of the attitude. Certainly the behavior of politicians has bred it more than anything, but has bred this sort of, it doesn't make a difference attitude. And so to me, because that's what I heard from you, is that it doesn't make a difference. I mean, you clarified it, but
I think a lot of people feel like it doesn't make a difference.
I know, and I think those people are wrong. And I think that...
Well, I think certain people think it doesn't make a difference, right? Like, for instance, people who, like workers, right? So right now, NAFTA, people who are angry about AFTA, they had nobody to vote for, right? Because, the Republicans and Democrats are both for free trade, right? So they had nobody really to vote for. So it doesn't really make a difference to them because they know whoever they vote for,
I'm not sure you can
their jobs being exported.
Workers together in one category, and you
don't think. I mean, but what about the point though that no matter who they vote for, the same global free trade thing is going to be going on?
Okay, okay. So let me just end this by saying this. Yes, in some cases, if both sides agree, it makes no difference, right? And in some cases where they have huge disagreements, it can make a giant difference. So for example, Hillary Clinton plays the refs. There's a new story out from Mankiewicz that The Intercept ran that she finds friendly press and works them, and it's frustrating, and I know how that game is played. The other side thinks, who gives a shit about the press? Maybe I imprison them, Okay, like that's a difference. That's a difference, right?
So right now, though, the Democratic president has used the Espionage Act more to
super fair, Jimmy. So that's why you've got to change the system. None of these things are contradictory. Sometimes it makes a difference. A lot of times it doesn't. But then the ultimate difference is changing the system. How are you going to get a system that it does all the things that you want? It's not going to be, oh my God, the Green Party won or the Libertarians won and they solved it, woohoo, right? I would be shocked out of my mind if that was the answer, okay? And I hope I'm wrong. And all she goes from
But America doesn't think that's the answer either.
What we're saying is there needs to be, a party that represents workers. There needs to be more voices. And if we keep doing what we've always done, which is either you believe neoliberal policies brought us Donald Trump, which I do, and that's what Jill Stein says, and a lot of people on the left believe that, including people like Thomas Frank and Chris Hedges. If you believe that that's what brought us him, then they say, look out, because then 4 more years, it's going to be 4 years worse. After Barack Obama or Clinton passes TPP, and it's going to be 4 years worse, and then the next Donald Trump will be even worse. So what we're saying is we've tried this. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and hoping for a better outcome.
No,
and right now,
insanity is letting Trump win.
No one's saying let Trump win. We're saying that it's time. We need to have a voice, and that the Democratic Party is a counter-revolutionary
party. What's the difference, though, between?
I'm not saying let Donald Trump. I'm not telling anybody to vote for Donald Trump.
Right,
that's true. I know that.
I don't want Donald Trump president like anybody. I'm the same way. I'm saying we're at a crossroads. And if we do the same thing we've always done, it will get even worse. So I'm saying, what are the new ideas?
My idea is get a goddamn amendment to get money out of politics so that every goddamn election we don't run into the same damned if we do, damned if we don't, right? The structural change is clearly the answer. I don't know why it's that complicated for people to see it.
Because
we're obsessed with elections. Which savior? Which savior? Am I going to vote A or B? Then they're going to save me, right?
But I don't think people think that.
I don't think people think that either.
I actually think the people who think that most now are progressives who are mad at Hillary Clinton and don't want to vote for her. Because I think they think that politician must be the answer, right?
Well, I think the framing
when has that ever been true, though? When has it ever been true that a politician is the answer? A politician is the answer on an issue here or there. A politician is an answer at a time of war to get us out of war, to get us into social progress. But never, Messiah and president, that's the antithesis of American politics in a way. But so I think the people that think that are the people that are new to the process, got very caught up in this process, and feel as if, that's the only hope for this society, which it is not. And I think that there is a light version of what you're saying that's a lot more true than the one that goes all the way to the end, where it's like the people think that somebody is going to come and save them. Certainly neither of these candidates will save anyone in a broad... But if Hillary Clinton saves America from Donald Trump, she's saving a lot of people just because of that, I think. But that's my opinion. I don't think she's going to save the earth, and she's a messiah.
So, Jimmy, look, let me just end it on this, because the debate's coming up. Look.
I'm with you on the thing. I think you can do both things, and I don't know how you build... Go ahead.
Here's how we break the cycle. Next time, we take the establishment and we snap their goddamn spines, okay? So now, everybody's going to say, no, it's not doable, blah, blah, blah. Bernie Sanders, who no one knew about, no one in the real world outside of politics knew about, closed a 60-point lead. Okay, tell me again it's not possible, right? Of course it's possible. Of course it is, right? Every generation has got an amendment. Of course it's possible. Women got the right to vote when they didn't have the right to vote. Of course it's possible. But you have to make short-term, mid-term, and long-term decisions. And you've got to be logical. Just say, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. I don't care, right? We got to change it right now. We got to change it right now. And I hate Hillary Clinton, so I'm going to vote against her. Congratulations. That is not, to me, that is not a great short-term answer. No, but some are, okay? And so I think the answer is, no, we get together, all of us, and we say, we have got to change the goddamn system. You go for systemic change so that next time Hillary Clinton doesn't even run. She gets Lyndon Johnson. She's so demoralized. Her popularity is in such disastrous shape, and someone rises up who does not take money, and we change the system. So.
I mean, it's a valid argument, Cenk. I'm not denying it. It's a great. I mean, I agree with you. I want to change the system too. I think that's also a key.
And there isn't a clamoring to do it with third parties. There's a poll from Fairleigh Dickinson this week that showed the Prohibition Party, James Hedges, outpolling Jill Stein at 4% to her 3%.
I don't even know the Prohibition Party.
Yeah,
what do they do?
There's also the workers.
James Hedges is on Skype right now.
Yeah, that's right. Let's bring him in. And Maureen Moorhead, I think that's her name. I don't even know. Mary Moorhead. She's the Workers' World Party, ties Jill Stein, went up against Clinton and Trump without Stein.
Now,
so
to
I'm
be
saying
fair,
there's
they
not
never
a
got a
clamor.
shot either, right? So, like, if they had gotten into the debates, that might be a different situation.
It might be,
especially
but do you
Gary
put them,
Johnson.
but if you
which
put
one
Jill
you
Stein
Who do
in
you
the
put in the
debate,
debate? You put them
who do you
all
put?
in?
You put James Hedges and Maureen Moorhead and Gary Johnson. I mean,
look, is there a cutoff? Yes. Is the cutoff 15%? Hell no. So 5%, that's a fair cutoff, right? And so Gary Johnson would have made the first debate. Jill Stein might not have. Maybe she would have if we thought 5% was the cutoff.
If people knew that was the cutoff, maybe more people would say.
And Gary Johnson is
definitely.
nearly beating, I know it's his home state, but nearly beating Donald Trump in New Mexico. And there's some states, in Colorado, he's getting, I think 13%. Some polls have him
by the
at
way,
17%.
that's horrendous that he's only nearly beating
No, but he's
Donald
a
Trump in his
third-party
home
candidate
state.
who
No,
has
but in
almost
his
no
home
breadth.
state. In his home state.
He can't name one mayor he admires in New Mexico.